Hey everybody, Eden Crown here. Welcome to Tokyo's luckiest shrines and temples. Today we're at Tokyo Dai Jingu, which is famous for love luck. So this is JR Iidabashi Station. If you're coming on the JR line, take the west exit. Come down these stairs or take the ramp, and then you're going to go to your left and walk straight ahead. Actually, this is probably the most powerful shrine in terms of heavenly power of any of the Shinto shrines here in this city. Here's their water purification well. Let's go get purified for our visit to Tokyo Dai Jingu. All right, all purified. We are ready to go in. Don't be fooled by its compact size. Tokyo Dai Jingu packs a big celestial punch. Dai Jingu enshrines a number of powerful Shinto deities, including Amaterasu, the sun goddess, and supposedly ancestral deity of the imperial line. Dai Jingu is connected to Ise Grand Shrine, one of the most revered in Japan. 3 of the deities here oversee the creation and growth of all things. Because of this, Dai Jingu is considered especially powerful for marriage and also business. In marriage or love, both finding a partner and strengthening a bond are powerful attributes of Dai Jingu. Well-dressed people, men and women, line up to pray for a good marriage or to strengthen their marriage bond. Why are many of them well dressed? Because it's a very powerful shrine, and if you have a big wish, you need to show respect when asking the gods for favor by dressing nicely. I'm here on a Saturday, so you don't see many business people. But Dai Jingu is a very important shrine for business people, business executives, anyone who wants to facilitate smooth connections in business. And on a weekday, you will often see business people lined up here in their suits and briefcases, asking for favors from the gods, as well as long lines of young men and women who are looking for love. Look at the brass fittings on the doors and other parts of the temple. They're hearts. It may not have been intentional, but it fits in perfectly with this shrine's reputation for love. You can see by the chrysanthemums that this shrine has imperial patronage, and since it was set up by the Emperor Meiji himself. So this is rice that's being grown, and it is surrounded by the purification papers. It's a tradition in older Shinto shrines to grow rice that is then eventually harvested by the priests and presented to the gods. So let's go a little closer. You can see right now it's August, mid-August. So the rice has a little ways to go. It's still very green. But once it's ripe, the priests will harvest it. You can see this also at Asakusa Jinja. They also have an area reserved to grow rice to offer for the gods. Unfortunately, Dai Jingu is not barrier-free completely. There's a side entrance where the cars come in to park, and you can bring a wheelchair up there, or if you can't manage, stairs. However, to get to the altar, you can see there are several steps. There's no other way to reach it except steps. They don't have any ramp. And also the shop to buy most of their charms, unless it's a festival day, is also at the top of this platform stage. Sometimes on festival days, they have it down in the little courtyard, which we'll go into in a minute. But generally, it's up above. So it's difficult if you have any mobility issues. Here are some of their ema. This year is Year of the Bull, which is why you see this white bull. This is one of their enmusubi emas. So this is for love and a good connection with your partner. And since it's summer, we have a morning glory ema. They often do ema with flowers of the season. This is also one of their enmusubi emas. Here are a couple of the omikuji boxes, fortune telling. This is the one I mentioned about blood types. You can choose A, B, O, or AB. And this is because all Japanese know their blood types. I know my blood type. Blood types are considered a type of personality. There is a personality and character analysis for A, B, O, and AB. Here are two other of the omikuji boxes. It's on the honor system, so you deposit your money, then reach in and take out your fortune. That's the entrance to Kagurazaka Dori, Kagurazaka Street and Hill. Starbucks on one side, and the really, really ugly real estate company on the other side, that blue and white hideous building. Once you get beyond that though, believe me, it improves greatly. On the weekends, Kagurazaka is closed to traffic, and it's at its most crowded then as well. But it's still a lot of fun, and you don't have to worry about the cars. This is Fujiya. Fujiya Cafe and Patisserie is an institution in Japan going back many decades. And inside, you can get little sweet cakes with their signature character here, pickle-san. Pickle means to be hungry, starving. So she's pickle-chan because she's hungry. And when it's not COVID, her pose is this with her little tongue sticking out. And here you can see she's holding the special sweet pancakes with her face on it. That this is about the only place in Tokyo you can get those. So if you go inside, you can pick up some pickle-chan cakes to take with you as a souvenir. Well, you're going to eat them, so they won't last very long as a souvenir. Right next to Fujiya is Kinozen. Kinozen is a famous wagashiya, a traditional Japanese sweet shop. It has a cafe, and they also have some sweets you can get to go. Here you can see some of their sweet bean paste and little mochi to go things. And seasonally, you can also get shaved ice and lots of other very Japanese treats. Kanokuya is almost next door to Kinozen, and it also has a lot of Japanese wagashi, Japanese sweets, but packaged for sale rather than as a cafe. Right now they've got some special chocolate strawberries, and as you can see inside, cakes and crackers. So this is another fun place to shop. There are also quite a few restaurants serving soba and udon in traditional and somewhat nouveau styles as well. This place has what they call udon donuts, and I have not had one, so I cannot give you information. There are 4 or 5 inexpensive sushi restaurants along Kagurazaka. So if you're in the mood for sushi and that one that fits your budget, you can find some pretty tasty sushi along this street. This is Sushi Zanmai, which is a big sushi chain. And you can see a lot of their sushi is very inexpensive. But there's several other places up and down the hill, so have a look. See what I mean? Next block, another sushi bar. We're going to walk up the street to a famous Buddhist temple for Benzaiten, Benten, one of the 7 gods of good luck. All right, here we are at the temple. This is a good place to stop, explore, and then turn around and walk back if you don't have time to do anything else. A Buddhist temple that was built in 1595. It has a pair of very unique tiger guardians instead of lion dogs. And they're very rare. And she is the goddess of music and literature and basically all the creative arts. So if you're in the creative media or you know someone who is, this is a great stop to say a little prayer for their success or your own. Now I'm going to go inside. However, I can't go much beyond here because pictures are forbidden. So I'm going to turn off my camera now and go inside. I want to explore the Honda Yokocho back streets, and you're walking up towards the temple. At the street before you get to the temple, let me turn this. You can see the entrance to the temple at that red gate. If you make a right at this little street, the little alleys wind to the right and to the left and all around from this area. So it's fun to walk down here and just explore any opening that you see. Kagurazaka was formerly an area full of tea houses, and also geisha were based here. This is quite a ways from Asakusa, which is the traditional area near Yoshiwara, which was the entertainment district back in samurai days. So people like to come to Kagurazaka and wander around the back streets. Looking for some of the remaining traditional architecture that you find here, all mixed in with all the new cafes. And they still have some cobblestone streets, which people like to walk down and film. But it really is a mixture of old and new. And as you can see, there's a lot of really ugly parts to the back streets as well. It's not like being in Kyoto and walking around Sannenzaka or Ninenzaka. Konnichiwa, nyanko. Cats in Japan say nyan nyan. So nyanko means little meowing creature. Dogs go wam wam. So my elderly people I know like to call dogs wanko and nyanko. Thank you, nyan nyan. There are traditional restaurants back here, very sort of exclusive VIP places. And traditionally, that's what this area held. So this is a dead end. There are a number of dead end streets in the back like this. So we'll just turn around and walk back the way we came. The reason back streets are so twisty and turny and Japanese blocks never seem to make any sense is because they were all built around the paths between rice fields and in villages way back in the samurai days. So all the streets that you see used to be between fields, and that's why they meander in a crazy way, and there is no grid system to most Japanese towns or cities. They just wander here and wander there because that's where the path was between the farmers' fields, and eventually they sold those fields, built houses, villages, banks, office buildings. But that's the reason streets are so strange in Japanese cities, and you feel like you're in Wonderland or a black hole because you say, I'll turn left here, this will take me back. No, it won't. God knows where you'll end up. If you're on a tight schedule and you only have 2 or 3 days in Tokyo, by all means stay around the Asakusa and Ueno areas to explore all the temples and shrines and fun stores and eating places they have. However, should your schedule be a little more leisurely, then a walk through Kagurazaka after visiting Dai Jingu is pretty fun. So this is JR Iidabashi Station. If you're coming on the JR line, take the west exit. Come down these stairs or take the ramp, and then you're going to go to your left and walk straight ahead. You can see a church up on your right, and on your left on the corner is a police koban, a little police office. So just go straight ahead until you come to the corner after this traffic light. From there, you'll turn left, and it's just a matter of a few minutes before you arrive at the shrine. At this intersection, you're going to turn left. So right now, the church is at your back, and you're by this tall building, very tall. And at this intersection, you're going to go to the left and walk straight ahead. And it curves a little bit, but this street will take you to Dai Jingu.